After a night of upheaval, the Red Flame army was completely wiped out. Some were dead, others imprisoned, and the entire force ceased to exist. Not only that, but General Lewis's estate was also purged. All embezzled wealth was confiscated, and those guilty of crimes were thrown into prison. Anyone with ties to the general's residence was placed under house arrest and interrogated one by one. Naturally, General Lewis himself became the most wanted fugitive. Until he was captured, the royal city remained under martial law. All major transportation routes were blocked, and patrol teams searched relentlessly, determined to trap him like a rat in a cage. Some radicals even gathered outside the royal palace, loudly protesting. They beat their chests in fury, their faces filled with indignation, stopping just short of openly cursing. In their view, General Lewis had rendered great service to the kingdom. Even if he had committed some mistakes, they did not warrant such extreme measures. Now, not only was his estate being confiscated, but he was also being hunted, plunging the entire city into chaos. This is outrageous. Absolutely ridiculous. Shutting down the city at the drop of a hat. Do you realize how much manpower and resources this wastes? What will outsiders think of us? You're right. Even if General Lewis is guilty, he should be tried by law. What is the meaning of this vigilante justice? This is nothing but a farce. Many senior ministers, unaware of the full truth, openly voiced their discontent with Thorian Rhys's high-profile manhunt. I always knew that boy lacked virtue, but I never expected him to be so tyrannical. Confiscating estates and exterminating entire families over a single disagreement. If West Lacosia falls into his hands one day, won't he bring about its ruin? At the gates of the royal palace, a group of elderly ministers, their hair graying with age, gathered together, murmuring among themselves and pointing fingers. As royal advisors, they found Thorian Rhys's reckless abuse of power intolerable and felt compelled to speak up, otherwise, they would be failing their duty. In truth, they did not take Thorian Rhys seriously at all. To them, he was nothing more than an arrogant, reckless playboy, unworthy of being compared to the prince. Now that the prince was gravely ill and recovering, they believed it was their duty, as both advisors and elders, to discipline this unruly son on his behalf. Creak! Just as their discussion reached a fervent pitch, the palace gates suddenly swung open. William stepped out with several members of the enforcement squad, his expression cold and indifferent. General William! What nonsense is this? Do you have any idea how much economic damage a single day of lockdown causes? A red-nosed old man stepped forward, his tone sharp with reproach. This man was Anton Rhys, not only a high-ranking official but also a distant relative of the Rhys family, sharing a blood connection with the royal house. By seniority, he was of the same generation as Thorian Rhys's uncles. So he spoke without restraint. That's right. A citywide lockdown is no trivial matter, and arresting a decorated general is not a game. We demand a proper explanation. Summon the young prince at once. We will not leave until we see him. The other elders joined in, all assuming a righteous, unyielding stance. Please calm yourselves. The young prince is already waiting in the reception hall with tea prepared, eager to receive you. William's tone remained indifferent. Hearing this, the group was momentarily taken aback. They had expected Thorian Rhys to hide away like a coward and refuse to face them. But instead, he had taken the initiative to invite them in. For a moment, they were unsure what to make of it. Elder Anton, what do you think? The elders exchanged glances before turning to Anton Rhys. Among them, he held the highest status, the greatest seniority, and was even Thorian Rhys's elder. Naturally, he was their leader. Well, since the young prince has invited us for tea, it would be rude to refuse. Let's go in. Anton Rhys flicked his long sleeves and stepped forward first. He was a frequent guest at the palace and Thorian Rhys's elder. No matter how outrageous the young prince's behavior, he would not dare act against him. Let's go! We'll see what he has to say. The others followed suit. As royal advisors, their duty was to serve with unwavering loyalty. If necessary, they were prepared to offer their lives in protest. Led by William, the group marched into the reception hall. Inside, the table was already set with tea and refreshments. Thorian Reese sat at the head seat, his expression calm and unreadable. "Uncle Anton, you've arrived. Please have a seat." As soon as they entered, Thorian Reese rose to greet them. "Humph!" Anton Reese did not stand on ceremony. He put on the airs of an elder and plopped down into the seat on the left. The other advisors followed suit, making no gestures of respect or greetings. Instead, they sat stiffly, their expressions stern, as if demanding repayment of a great debt. "Uncle Anton, what brings you here today?" Despite their attitude, Thorian Reese remained composed, his smile unbroken. "Thorian Reese! I ask you, why have you arrested General Lewis? Why have you placed the city under lockdown?" Anton Reese launched into a barrage of questioning. "Do you understand that because of your reckless actions, the entire city is in turmoil? The citizens are living in fear. Merchants are too afraid to conduct business. Can you take responsibility for these consequences?" Thorian Reese raised an eyebrow, casually took his seat, and calmly asked, "Uncle Anton, are you here today to discuss personal matters or official affairs? What difference does it make?" Anton Reese scowled. "If it's personal, then as your junior, I owe you respect. You are my elder, and it's only right for you to discipline me." At this point, Thorian Reese's gaze suddenly sharpened. "But if it's official business, then you should remember your place. Who is ruler, and who is minister? Do you even have the right to sit and speak before me?"
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace. But now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase. Keeping you in my heart, a piece of you I'll never let go. Though distance brings separation, in my heart you'll always glow. I just can't say goodbye, no matter how hard I try. A bond like ours, so deep and true, will always be if you stay or no. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no